Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here. We are live. Little EGFH. That's high school wise. That's Rocket League action coming at you. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with J Turbo. There you go. I did it the right way this time. J Turbo, how are we feeling?
Feeling really good. I'm excited because we're getting into the start of Season 12. So these squads, we've got a bunch of new ones coming in that weren't in Season 11. We haven't seen them in EGFH, so always happy to see more fresh faces. But one that we've seen for quite a while, the Mark T. Sheehan Titans. They've been around the block for quite a while, have been really competing to try and break into that top level of teams. So this season didn't get a chance to see them last week. So this will be a bit of a season opener, at least for us on the broadcast. For Taunton, they fell to the Rockford Rams 3-0, but the Rockford Rams, one of the strongest teams in the EGFH overall.
Exactly. Taunton, great school right there. That's the Bali Tigers right here. And they generally going to put down a whole lot of squads. Did lose to that Rockford squad. Take a look at the schedule before we jump right on into this one, folks. We got plenty high school Rocket League action for you. Hawthorne High, that's the skill issue squad, taking on the Allentown Redbirds after this one. And then rounding out our EGFH, plenty of collegiate Rocket League to be had on the day. That is Richardson High School and Wilson Central. That'll be a little bit later, 6:30 Central, or 6:30 Eastern.
On to the pitch. Not a ton of waiting around today. And I'm really excited to see this Taunton team. I haven't seen them at all. Seen Sheehan Titans a couple times, and already a little aggression straight out the gate. But neither team looking too confident to start things off. A lot of contesting, and that's exactly how we want it.
Yeah, just a lot of contesting here off the top. That's going to be Taunton setting this one up. A fantastic block. Pinecone still there, though, as Jack is here. Putting up the first here for the top Bali Tigers.
Shot it right at the teammate. It doesn't really matter because the ball was just left sitting right in front of the net. But that is one of the funniest passes that were completely calculated that I have ever seen. But the Bali Tigers is going to feel good about that one, especially considering their loss was a 3-0. So to really have a tough season opener, then come out swinging exactly how you want to start. Pinecone straight over to Bazinks, and Titans are starting to get a little bit of pressure of their own.
Pinecone now rounding out this right side, trying to put this one up. Man, Nitua can't quite stretch on out to that one. Nitsua, excuse me, can't quite stretch out to that one. Would have been perfect positioning for it, though, J Turbo. Back the other side we go.
Oh, and really dangerous touch there from Nitsua, but no harm, no foul. There wasn't anyone from the Tigers ready to pounce. Now Bazinks over one, looking for number two, easily cleared away. And this is some of the ping pong that we're used to seeing in a game number one. Just both teams feeling each other out, booming the ball as they can, keeping those boost totals high and just trying to march their way down. Is already a little physicality attempted by the Titans. So that'll definitely be something to watch out for.
Nice Tigers little bounce play right here. Centering play, Jolly Cole to Best Uda. Best Uda does get a hit, but that's not on point. Pinecone easily climbs the tree to that one to be able to stop that one in his tracks. Jack is here, just kind of a free flip that doesn't go anywhere until Best Uda. Now a solid hit right here. No boost really to hit it, but that center, Jolly Cole can't quite get to that center of the pitch. That's another Tigers opportunity squandered, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a tough decision there if you are on the side waiting for that touch, because you never expect your opponents to just let it cross uncontested across the goal line. So at the very least, Titan's going to get away with robbery there. And still left at that 1-0 scoreline, but Titans have yet to be able to put together any extended pressure. It's been a lot of looks at the net, but nothing that's been too scary. Is Pinecone going to center this one? No finish quite yet, but Zinks has space, has boost, has a reset, or did he? Maybe it was just off. That was a really close setup that could have been that first goal the Titans so desperately want.
Yeah, the good news for Titans and Titan fans, the score difference is only one. There's plenty of time right here. Now we get our first demo on the board. Nitsua taking out Best Uda. We're trying to set something up a little bit right here until Best Uda comes back and has something to say about it. Titans back on over to the middle. Now some more Titan offense here. That's Bazinks. Nice stop there, Best Uda. I got to say, the Tigers' problem is not in their defense.
No, it definitely isn't. And honestly, haven't seen many problems at all out of the Tigers so far. It's just been, I think, for both of these teams that once they get on offense, they're just a little unsure of how to approach these pretty coordinated defenses each team is producing. It's not so much that their offenses are bad by any means, but that the defenses are performing, as right there, Bazinks barely able to keep it away. This is going to be a scary spot, though. Everyone's by the net. Somehow doesn't go in. Nitsua going to miss that touch, but Bazinks is here for the follow through. Uda missing that one means it's going to be a risky save from Jack. What a sequence we've seen so far, and it's not quite over. It's waiting, and Pinecone seals the deal. We're all tied up.
Yeah, I mean, this ball just simply spent a little bit too much time in front of this Tigers goal right here. Best Uda, the best defensive block that they can get, but that does nothing more than just kind of set it up for Pinecone. Tied game we have here, J-Turbo. 72 seconds left. This game number 1.
And that's what I love here, Tugboat, is just seeing both of these teams so well evenly matched. And that's one thing about the EGFH is you have some really, really talented teams that can sometimes just really make a statement on everyone else. But there's this really strong, close to that top of the pack, middle of the pack sort of echelon that I think both of these teams are going to fit into quite well, where they might not be your Wilson Centrals, your Lake Wales, but they're certainly able to give each other a run for their money, certainly able to start putting together some of these plays, as Nitsua already trying to finish this carry up, but Uda going to keep it disrupted. 30 seconds to go, Tug.
Yeah, so Pinecone looking rather fancy right here. If he had plenty of boost left right there, that'd be an easy goal, as the Tigers were something going right there. Offensive-wise, nobody on the other side. Nitsua jumps up to this one. Jack is here with a nice shot on attempt, but nothing hitting payload this time. Best Uda now right side. Pinecone comes up to it, saves a dangerous situation for the defense right here. And members of the Titans are able to rotate, get into that defensive. I think we're going to overtime.
Oh, it feels like it. There's one more opportunity. The ball's still up, so Bazinks, it's certainly who you'd want to have it, and Pinecone going to try and keep it up, but Jack dropping it down. Overtime in game number 1. Gotta love it. Is already off the kickoff, looking a little dangerous, not quite on target, but Bazinks still able to get that one away for the second. And already, Tigers, early pressure, Bazinks with the cross, and it's once again saved by Jack.
Yeah, the cross almost lays to rest this overtime here. Bazinks off the top. That's so dangerous and doesn't really clear it out too much, but now that's a run the other way. Jack is here. Nice foist off to the right side. That buys this team a lot of time to come back and rotate. Pinecone interrupting the cross pitch shot yet again. Going to be Bazinks that sends us away from middle pitch, though. Centering shot there from Jack. A little bit of a weaker hit from Nitsua. Pinecone now doing great things right here, but Jack is there. Dangerous. Pinecone is in!
And right there, it was just a great carry upfield. There's a little pressure coming from the rest of the team, and Jack just can't get a clean touch. Control for most of the game out of the Tigers, but in the end, it's the Titans scoring those final 2 goals of the game. But with how even this first one was, I'm just excited for this entire series.
Round and round we go. Where we stop, do not know. That's going to be 8 total shots for the Taunton Tigers. The team that lost actually putting up less shots attempted than the Sheehan Titans. Now, that was Bazinks all day long. When you're talking about offensive pressure, 5 of those 7 came from Bazinks, 2 from other teammate Nitsua, I believe, did not get any shots attempted on goal. So the Titans, perhaps more of like a role divided type team, right? Not necessarily anybody just going on for offensive performances, but mostly going to be Bazinks and then some Pinecone there in that offensive third. Let's take a look at some of these replays and some of the action that just went down here, folks. No replays, never mind. We're going over game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we got any time for that with how quickly these players are trying to strike back onto the pitch. And Bazinks, that's the player I'm really going to watch for the Titans. Is already showing some mechanical prowess, going for resets, going for doubles. And those are the dangerous kind of shots that can just break a defense apart if given the space to do it. Now Bazinks, pass 1, has a little bit to work with. Pops this up. Pinecone's already up. Like you brought up, those 2 going to be leading that offense for the Titans.
See how this one goes down here. Shot over, nicely done. Jolly Colt galloping into the first goal here for the Tigers. 27 seconds in. Maybe a more higher scoring game in game 2 here. I mean, you don't really get much lower scoring than 3.
Maybe, yeah, that's true. It's the only way you can really have a lower scoring game is like a 1-0 or something, and it nearly was. But of course, Titans able to pick it up near the end. So this game is by no means, I think, up to that much of a different start. It was early pressure from the Tigers, but in that last play, Nitsua just wasn't quite aggressive enough on defense. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron at times, but just being willing to pressure the opponent who's trying to step forward.
Yeah.
If there was just a little bit more of that, would have been a great opportunity for the Titans to try and strike back off of that initial pressure. But now Pinecone finds a 50, but Zinks gets the rebound. And it's certainly higher scoring with 2 in just the first minute.
Yeah, it seems like these are two teams that when they're not on defense, they're not on defense at all. When they are, there's nothing going through. Perhaps that just poured more of it into offense, try and put up some points, make it a higher scoring total game. And game number 1 is the idea here for these two. Game number 2.
Oh, and this is a risky touch from Jack. Uda and Bazinks both gonna miss, so no harm, no foul for the moment. And now almost an overextension from Nitsua. Gonna be Pinecone coming up from the midfield, and we haven't seen a ton of contest in the midfield out of these teams, it feels. It seems like there's really only tension once they've broken into their attacking thirds, right? Is when we're getting close to the net where we see a lot of this contact. Is now Nitsua's gonna look for something. We'll be able to pop this over, and Uda sends this out. Jack gonna slow it down. No one's there for the tee up. Once again, we got a clean 50 as this back and forth continues.
Oh, well, see, this is the Titans there that almost bit the bullet for having a really, convoluted defense. They had 3 players within just a couple car lengths of each other, and you just want to spread this pitch a little bit more. It's all about coverage, baby. Pinecone, not Pinecone here. Trying to set this one up, but setup is easily dissolved out. Tears and rain here when you're talking about the Tigers trying to get onto offense.
Exactly. They have, I think they've had a few more looks so far as Pinecone diving for that save. Incredibly close. You've got to wonder if for the Tigers, this extended pressure not materializing could come back to bite them, as Nitsua starting to step up onto offense and now keeping this one awkward for the Tiger defense, but it nearly turns into a great counterattack. But Zinks with the save. The pressure does not stop. It looked a lot higher scoring in the first minute, but we've gone 2 more, and still no one has yet to be able to crack the code on how to get to the back of the net.
Yeah, this is really like a starting up. Like, we get into this and we assume that this is going to be much higher scoring. I believe it was less than 60 seconds even that we had 2 of those scores. But now we're staring down the barrel of another possible overtime situation, J-Turbo.
Ooh, and Uda making sure that it's not going to be with Taunton falling behind. That overtime is denied. That Jack gonna step up, try to get the stuff on the Binks. Uda keeping this dangerous, and Jolly Colt has the shot, has the finish. And look at them go. Tigers stepping up.
Jolly Colt has a reason to be happy. My goodness, 3 shots on 2 made in. That is a perfect back fender. Just a little tippy tap. That's all that's necessary. 100 seconds left in this game 2 competition. Tigers up 2-1 and looking to tie up this series here, J-Turbo.
And I think that would be a great response for game number 1, where it did feel like Taunton were leading the way for most of that game. They had most of the offensive pressure, and Titans were able to bring it back in the final 2 minutes. And of course, in overtime as well. Now here in game number 2, you hope that there's not a similar fate where the Titans start to pick it up as the clock starts to wind down to force OT, as this ball has spent a little too much time than I think the Tigers are comfortable with in front of their net.
Wow, so there's a demo that might have something going. As I say that, the Tigers make a nasty defensive spike down, now having to block away a few shots. Bezignus tries to get their Pinecone, actually beats Jolly Colt there. Now stopping this one, almost tees up for Nitsua, but can't quite get there.
Oh, and Jack has a little space, gets a pinch off the ceiling, wears the follow-up, and it's Jolly Colt nearly doing it again off the backboard. Just 30 more seconds of stall needed, and they'll just take an insurance goal instead.
Yeah, all 5 shots now, Jolly Colt, all 3 of them. I was talking a little bit about Mark T. Sheehan Titans and Bezinkness, who's mostly their offensive onslaught here. That is Jolly Colt, game 2 all day long. Dial up Progressive, little State Farm action, maybe even some Geico if you like those commercials. Insurance goal purchased.
Yeah, the last time we cast together, talk about how there's the waffle commercial and AAA bringing it all back. As, Bezinks didn't quite have the pressure for that double on the crossbar. It was denied, and nearly a walk-away goal, one for the road. But this is going to be it. Clock's going to tick down. No final touch. No rule. 0 to be had. And we got a tie series.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that we have a mild advantage here for the Taunton Bali Tigers for the only reason that it's momentum now, like the most recent momentum, if that makes sense. But it's also the second showing, right? The Mark T. Sheehan Titans, they had that first look as well at the Bali Tigers, and coming away with the victory is those Tigers. I think they really just kind of figured out exactly what it is that they wanted to do in a barely higher scoring total games. Take a look at some of these replays and how this one went down.
Yeah, as we're going to see from this opening goal, it was just this offensive pressure and not quite enough movement from the Titan defense. And I think they started to step out and break out a little bit more, and that was some of their success as we saw that response goal from Bezinks, them just being much more willing to step up. And right here, there's the problem with getting too aggressive and trying to contest the midfield too much, is you wind up giving away those kinds of goals where there's no one in net ready to respond. And from then on out, it was continued pressure from the Tigers. And of course, this follow-up goal, a nice addition to it. And Bezinks showing off exactly what these Titans are capable of when given the space. As we're going to jump back onto the pitch, I think Bezinks getting shut down has been a really big help for the Taunton Tigers. And for the Titans, might just have to create a little bit more space for that lead player.
Yeah, like you said, just creating a little bit more space, giving them passes, something like that. But the Tigers, again, very early, wasting away opportunities. This is Jolly Colt is way too far back. Those best Uda trying to put something up. With other teammate just way off, kind of waiting in the wings, a little bit too far away to really get something going on here.
It looks like this is actually yeah, I think there's a substitution coming in here for the Titans. Swapping out Nitsua for... Couldn't quite catch them. I'm sure we'll see them in a couple seconds. I think it's Sorrento Sorrento Nothi. And that will be a roster swap. Yeah, Sorrento Nothi coming in for the Titans. So we'll have to see how that changes their play style. Of course, this first minute not looking all that different from the previous games. Of course, no scoring as we saw in game 2, but still back and forth. Neither team having much control. That same sort of story is now Jack keeping the pressure on, being that much faster than the Titan defense.
I think the Titans really did not like how that game 2 finished out. You know, if they lose by a score of 1, okay. You know, like we just did that to them. Fair enough. They lost by that 2-score difference, now have that bad taste in their mouths. Because until just now, until that right there where they almost got caught looking, they pretty much had one player back into goals so far, even if they're pushed super far forward into this offense. Right now it's Sorrento, for a while is Bezinks. Heidencone has grown up there as well. See how this Titan offense goes, kind of again, those more dedicated roles here.
Yeah, and I mean, Sorrento even has that tag reliable rotator, so adding in an extra bit of flair for that more defensive third man that it seems the Titans really want, as Heidencone doesn't get the extension on that touch, and with a demo certainly could open the door. Instead, it's going to be a big booming clear collected by Uda, but it's still dangerous as the Titans are playing this left wing outlet to the side, and Pinecone not quite quick enough. We're still just staying back and forth in this midfield. No one feels having a great opportunity, and that one nearly lucky off the corner as Bezinks and Pinecone going to try and ferry this one out.
Halftime now, no scores on board, but you said not for lack of trying by any means. Right side, Pinecone, back to the middle. Jack is here. Very, very easy pickup once again after this Pinecone player for the Titans. Kind of hits this ball over here with no further progression. Afterwards, Heartbreak Hotel. You got your key card, walk past the pool. You know where the breakfast is at because it's time to check in. That was absolutely brutal.
So brutal. There's nothing else to say, but it was close and just not quite able to get the finish as Pinecone just barely beat. And this has been in front of the Titan net for so long. It's been so scary, and yet there have been nothing. There's been nothing getting into the back of the net. Bazinks now gonna get an extension forward. Uda, awkward touch, but still no continued pressure. Those Titans just trying to collect a little boost so that they can try and strike back out, and nearly that one opportunity materializing, but we're still 3.5 minutes in. No scores quite yet, and both teams, you can tell how hungry they are for that first blood.
Hey, I am not against it whatsoever. We might have had a little forfeit action in the first game. Doesn't matter. Got some high-flying, high-scoring, I mean, not high-scoring, low-scoring Rocket League so far. But it's very competitive. That's what we like until Bazinks with the perfect read. 71 seconds left in this game. Number 3. We've already purchased ourselves game number 4. Now it's just who's going to take the lead. It looks like the Titans putting themselves up. Solid little contender for that.
Oh, and that's just one double commit too many out of the Tigers. Neither one making contact. Bazinks happy to just pop that through the upright arches. And oh, what a save. What a read by Sorrento there to prevent the rebound shot. And that was, I think, probably one of the best opportunities we've seen so far out of the Tigers this game, and haven't quite been able to create more, but this is going to have to be its do or die final minute of play, and this is where that clutch factor is found, but a missed flip from Uda. And I mean, there is none of that clutch factor. Bazinks gets number 2 and all but seals the deal in this game.
Oh, man. I shouldn't laugh because I've been where Uda is before. I've done that before many a time. Pressure comes and you see Tugboat just flipping off into Mars. Titans.
And
go ahead.
It's rough. No, it's rough. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, Titans now with again the insurance goal right here. We see the Tigers get one in quickly, then we'll get an exciting, maybe possible overtime type situation, but I'm thinking this 2-score difference might go down like it did in game numero dos. Pinecone not willing to give this one up.
Ooh. The Titans have been looking a lot better on offense. Of course, that last goal was all but gifted to them, but still they've been creating some solid opportunities. But I think that this series, these two teams are honestly so evenly matched that it comes down to who makes that first mistake, who gives away that first goal. And that's where the real difference is between these teams. It's not so much who has that better defense on average, who's putting up more shots. Is this game all but even? Once again, the Titans down on shot count, but still ahead in the goal count. And it's just a matter of that, those couple mistakes that come through. And once you're reaching this level, teams like the Titans or the Tigers, they can both punish them.
Yeah, the big difference I think there is not so much the 6 attempted shots for the Tigers right there, but instead the 4 saves versus 1 Titans over Tigers right there. More even-handed Rocket League performance, right? Not just all offense all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're taking a peek into that last game, we're not going to get too many goal highlights, as of course this was the first one, Bazinks finding that one hole that was given over. But the fact of the matter is, we went the majority of that game at number 3 without there being any of those kinds of double commits, without seeing those same kinds of mistakes, where it was just clean, coordinated Rocket League from both teams for the majority. And you bringing up the number of saves that the Titans have, I think, is a real statement to how they've survived this series so far and now find themselves in the lead.
Yep. And that's the thing that both of these teams want to say at this point. 5-minute Rocket League game, game 4, maybe the last one, This has been back and forth this whole time. It's 2-1 overtime W here for the Titans in game 1. A 3-1 victory for the Tigers in game 2. 2-0 for the Titans. They came roaring back in that third game.
Okay, I saw Jolly Colt going for that angle, and I was just holding my breath for a second because I'm like, there's no way.
Makes sense.
There's no way he reads this from that deep. I'm always impressed just to see the level of skill with this being a high school league, right? These players are all still going to school. They're getting their classes done, trying to balance Rocket League, other extracurriculars, thinking about college if you're getting to that junior, senior level, right? And all while competing and still trying to get that diploma. So always very impressed by the levels of play that we've seen. And I think both of these teams, their coordination has been the most impressive part. Not always super mechanical, but working together as a great pass from Zinx to Pinecone and almost resulting in a goal. I
think Pinecone heard you say that about the passes or about the shots right there. Oh, just a little bit too high there for Uda. Uda, yet again, the Tiger that has gotten involved the least in the offense thus far. Mostly Jolly Cold Jack has been doing fantastic stuff as well. That would have been a fantastic way to put a foot forward here in game number 4, J-Turbo.
Absolutely, and also have to bring into question that substitution for the Titans, bringing in Sorrento. Having that new player, that slightly different dynamic, not quite as engaged on the offense. And as I say, that goes for the dive forward. And just a difference in pace. Sometimes it's not so much that one player brings a different skill set, but it could just be that the way that they play the game is a little better into your opponents. So it seems that substitution has been working out so far for the Titans. Maybe not on the offense, but certainly in keeping up the defense.
Udo is literally always there. Like, Udo may not be the player always like putting in these goals. Udo may not be the player who's always like getting the crazy like goal line defensive stops. That was almost everything in a bag of chips. But Udo's just been passing and passing and passing. Like one of the greatest transgressions I've ever witnessed in my career is the fact that Uda has 0 assists as of right now. Now, of course, that comes with Uda. Again, think you heard me saying that. I think they heard me saying that right there. But I'm talking about the previous 3 games as well. Uda is just pretty much always there to help set up the team. I feel like it's easy to take shots yourself. Passing the ball and kind of reading the field and knowing who the best player for a certain position, a certain shot may be, is so much harder.
It absolutely is. And that ability is, I think in my mind, so much more important in this kind of competition than being able to pull off a lot of mechanics. Of course, you need to be consistent. You need to be precise on your passing, but not so much spending those tons of hours in free play, but really scrimming with your team, continuing to improve and find those next steps, those additions to your team play that can make you that much more formidable a squad, not individual players, but as a full unit. As Uda once again with the pass, Jack with the shot, and it was just off those top fins.
I mean, just think about how many times me and Turbo here have lost our marbles in the past, 3 minutes or so, or really the past 15 minutes or so, excuse me. Just how many of these are set up by Uda. Uda's had some fantastic shots themselves, but nothing really quite going in ping pong right here. Pinecone knows the game. Nicely done. Shot back over to the middle. This is not going to be on point, but it is going to be a nasty setup. Pinecone goes from defense into offense. It's a fantastic transition. Shows a well-rounded Rocket League player.
Exactly. That was nearly the chance. That was nearly the first goal of this game, as this series has just been so low scoring, but a stinger out of Jolly Colt will take the lead for the Tigers with a minute left. Who knows? It looks like we could be heading to that game number 5.
Yeah, that was a fantastic pass from Jack right here as well. This was getting centered and kind of getting to a better trajectory as well. Would have been really dangerous. And that was just kind of like a glancing blow off the side as well. Just perfectly ran all the way down. Sets up Jolly Colt. Yet again, a weird pinch right there, but Jack's going to like it as this one goes back to mid-pitch.
And this is when the Titans need to step up. We saw them do it in game number 1 to force overtime and have to come out in spades right now. But Zinx almost making it. Not quite enough boost. I think just you can't have enough boost in outside of unlimited and free play to pull off those kinds of motions. Once again, getting involved in this corner. It's very, very tight, and I like that the Tigers, they're finding their way forward. They're keeping their foot on the gas, knowing that at times, of course, the best defense is a good offense as it creates difficult positions for your opponents and prevents them from stepping up, but this could be it. Pinecone not quite fast enough on that carry, and that would have been Uda's first goal Unfortunate the clock denies it this time, but the Tigers have another shot at handing that over in game number 5.
It's so interesting, too, because we've seen so many of these. This has all been a back-and-forth performance. We just come off of a Bali Tigers shutdown, a 2-0 victory earlier for the Titans, and then the Titans follow up with a 5-minute Rocket League game where they only get 2 attempted shots, and it's very infrequent that you're going to win with only 2 attempted shots. Just straight up. It's so interesting how this has gone back and forth. Again, I'm so excited for this being the first on broadcast here today. Kind of set the pace for this EGFH.
Oh, absolutely. And with how sometimes there are those skill disparities between teams, just with the nature of the league, right? Sometimes you get lucky having a cracked Rocket League player at your school, and sometimes you don't. But it's all about building those team efforts and building those team skills. Is now we have 2 teams that are really at that same level. I mean, almost all of these games being settled by 1 goal. Not 2 or 3 for one breakout match. It's been 1 goal pretty much every single time, and those goals have been off of single mistakes of otherwise pretty solid Rocket League from both of these teams. So now it's the final game, last chance, and Uda already getting involved.
Yes, sir. Not surprised whatsoever. Not surprised whatsoever. This is game 5. We will have a win. 4 minutes and some change. We will have a winner and we will have a loser. Early performances from both squads. Mid-pitch we go. Pinecone gets this taken off and actually gets a second really nice pass. Or tap or whatever. Best Uda. Send this back on over. Jolly Colt. Middle pitch. Jack. An uncharacteristic miss there for that Jack player.
Yeah. Not used to seeing those kind of moments. Is a little miscommunication on the Titan back line, meaning no one was quite ready to immediately pick up that ball. Doesn't really matter. Sorrento's going to be able to pop one out. As now Bazinks up over top, pass to Pinecone. Doesn't get the connection. And that would have been a really great shot opportunity as Bazinks keeping it dangerous. The cross comes over and still ferried out by Jack is here. And we're already back to the red side of the pitch.
Yeah, I think if we had to, this is 2 very well-matched Rocket League teams. If there's one thing we had to point out, it's not just Bazinks' offensive pressures, it's the fact that Bazinks seems like they can take this ball away from any side of the pitch, frequently just interrupting defensive or offensive performances, and it's already resulted in multiple different goals. In previous games, of course, not yet.
Of course, as Pinecone almost getting the booming clear into the net as there was no one back for the Tigers. Doesn't quite happen, just a little bit off target, and we remain at 0-0. Bazinks pop up for Pinecone. There's no one to save, but the double isn't there either, and Sorrento can't land the rebound. Oh, that was such a good look from the Titans, and I'm going to say Tigers are going to be lucky to have escaped that one, and Titans now the ones under threat as Pinecone going to pop it on out, and Bazinks pushing up. Not quite making contact, and it has been a back and forth affair. Neither team feeling too comfortable in the last 40 seconds.
I can completely agree with that one. Actually, Jack flipping back to try and maintain possession right here. I've been gotten caught looking a little bit. Bazinks all over the top. Best Uda, really weak hit, but wow, the other 2 members of the Titans just already beating feet back, not really continuing that offensive play right here. I gotta say, that's been both teams have done it like a little bit, trying to get back around. Just saving it is Sorrento Northia.
Oh, and it's another bout of extended pressure in front of the Taunton net. I was expecting that to potentially materialize, and good patience though out of the Tiger defense, making sure that even though it looks kind of scary with Bazinks being so close, it realistically isn't. But a team bump! Oh no! Oh no, we gotta watch that one back. What happened?
Once again, this is just the result of a triple commit. Colt actually hits Jack right there, and then that sets up this last Tiger player who's just trying to get back, who has absolutely no defensive opportunity at that one. Given that we've seen a couple of zeros past 2 games, couple donuts, and only a single breadstick, only a single one previous game, that might actually be the dagger right here. That might be the finishing factor. If the Titans play the exact same game they played the past really like 2 games, then we're going to see a 1-0 scoreline.
And I hope that this series doesn't end with that being the decider. I want either the Titans to score again, so that way it feels like a true 1-0, or for the Tigers to take this and try and force overtime, because a series that has been as close as this does not deserve to go down to just one team bump play where everyone gets caught together. With how well they've been playing, it would really hurt for that kind of moment to be the difference. And oh, Uda, you gotta be able to shoot those and finish the job. Oh, it was such a great sequence. Pass to Waterfall down, and Uda just pinching it off the ground. And that's another one the Tigers are gonna want back.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Best Uda right here have been talking so much about how they've set up so many of these offensive opportunities, but sometimes you got to take the shot yourself. When something's done, you got to do it yourself. And unfortunately, that leads to nada. Still down by 1 in a game where most of these games have been decided by 1, or at most by 2.
Not something you tend to hear. That was weird. As it was glancing off the post, doesn't turn into much. As do get a pinch downfield. It's picked up by Pinecone. This cross gets collected by Sorrento. And well, that's an awkward touch from Jolly Colt. Gets in front of Uda, and starting to see these final few seconds, some panic out of the Taunton Tigers. Ooh. This deflects off the crossbar, but no one is stepping up. They're just waiting for the Titans, but you're the ones who need to make a goal happen. As 5 seconds to go. It would take some insane carry downfield.
Nice.
As it's kept up. Jack making it work. Uda pass down. Jack as well, and still going. Jolly Colt getting contested, but Zinks just wants to drop this one down, and with no Tigers back, that will be it. But what a series out of these two teams, and again, off the back of one mistake.
Yeah, wow. Game 5, barn burner. Bazinks just doing standard Bazinks things. 4 shots right there. Actually gets the assist onto Pinecone right here, but hey, anybody who can get that goal in is going to turn it into gold in a Game 5. Again, most of these games get decided by 1.
Yeah, and it's so tough to see that final game goes the way it does, but such is life. As with this replay package, we're going to cut to a break before trying to set up an interview to hear from the Titans and see what's going on in their comms.
And we are back and we are live. This is the Mark T. Sheehan's Titans taking a 3-2 barn burner over the Taunton Volley Tigers. And we got Bazinks to come on in and give us a minute of their time after the game. Bazinks, how are we feeling?
We're feeling great. That was our first game of the season for us since the first game got rescheduled, so it was a great way to start the season.
Fantastic way to start 1-0, dude. 1-0.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. I want you to talk to me a little bit about kind of how this series changed, because it did go back and forth the entire time.
Yeah, so we started out with one of our players. We made the sub in game 3, and after game 3, we just started. It just felt like we started vibing together. And even after that loss, and I believe it was game 4, we kind of had the confidence that we could finish out the series.
And going on that, with how tight it was, were there ever any moments that it felt like one mistake could have brought back a game, and how did you guys deal with that throughout the series?
Oh, 100%. There's plenty of moments where one little miss or one backflip when you're trying to save a ball, like things like that, where you try to get in your own head, but you just got to try to keep a positive attitude. That's what we always try to do. We always try to keep ourselves up and not let us get upset over one little mistake, because you can always come back in a game.
Yeah, and with game number 5, this series that had been so close, you guys were separated by 1 goal all of one game, and then that final being off the back of a mistake from the Tigers. For you guys, what was it like just sort of being gifted that final moment?
I mean, we're very appreciative. That was super lucky. I mean, if that weren't to happen, that game might not have gone our way. It might have gone to overtime. We still could have won, but we're super appreciative, and I still think that we could have closed out the series either way. But with how it went, and then we kept up with our defense throughout the rest of the game, I think we definitely deserved the series.
Absolutely. I tend to agree. A game 1 that went to overtime, and everything after that went at least very, very close. Again, congratulations on the victory right here. Now, victories, as we all know, don't come solo dolo. I want to ask if you have any shout outs here, Zinks.
Definitely, my 3 teammates that I played with today. I know them as Cole, Jack, and Austin, but Sorrento, Pinecone, and Nitsue, they played fantastic. Especially Sorrento with his defense, and in game 3, I believe it was, he absolutely killed it on the defensive end.
Absolutely. Once again, Zinks, thank you for coming on in and giving us a minute of your time after the game. We will have you back in the interview box, but only if you win, because we only have winners in the interview box.
Thank you.
Not a problem. We got Hawthorne Allentown coming up here in just about 15 minutes or so. Folks, be sure to stay tuned and continue to watch some high-flying electric Rocket League action, high school style. J Turbo, do you have anything else for the good people before we go to a short break and get at Soka and somebody else up here to cast?
Not at all. Just happy to have people tuning in and supporting these players and keeping the scene growing.
Absolutely. Back with you guys in just a little bit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to EGF High School. My name is Soy. Joining me is Captain at Soka, and we're getting ready for another high school Rocket League matchup. This time around, it's the Allentown Redbirds going up against the Hawthorne Bears. Should be a fun one, and it's only week 2 here at EGFH.
Yeah, so it's still a lot to be established and a lot to be seen. Like, literally every single team can come in here and create themselves new again. It's a new season, new you. You know, might as well live it up and try and do your best. And now both of these teams have an opportunity to set the standard and to set the tone for the rest of the season by being able to take a win here tonight. And I got to tell you, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the folks at A-Town. This is going to be an interesting matchup because Hawthorne, I have not seen much of them last season. I still know that they are a namesake, but I've just seen a little bit more. I find myself talking a little bit more in conversation about the players from Allentown.
It's going to be interesting to see what we get from Allentown this week. In terms of last week's results, Hawthorne got the win over the Lake Wales Commanders, so they are off to a 1-0 start and looking to remain undefeated if they can. It's a really tight pool coming in, you know, roughly 9 teams involved in this group, and really going to be highly contested in this round robin play. So all of these games are going to matter. All these best of 5s, every tiebreaker you can think of is going to be important moving forward here. But we're going to get ready for game number 1 between these two teams just in a few moments. We're cutting to it now to DFH Stadium, or whoops, sorry, this is the Coliseum. Either way, here we go. It's going to be Hawthorne in the blue, Allentown in the red for this best of 5 series.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't worry about the maps. They literally all look the same. I mean, this is DFH, whatever, Coliseum map now. That's what this is. As we are getting ready for game number 1, let's get 5 minutes on the clock. You know what time it is. It's time for game number 1 between Hawthorne and Allentown.
Hawthorne had a 3-0 sweep in week 1 against the Commanders, but Allentown looking to see what they can do here. This ball will be popped up along the wall once more. Panda's going to move in here, roll this one along the wall. That one's going to be dangerous along the backboard, but Emmy will clear it away. Shot from Germ, just too late to the post. Can't quite tuck that one in, but some good early pressure here from the Bears.
Oh yeah, look at the swish and flick going right off the side post. Definitely like the thought process there from Hawthorne, bringing that early aggression and really patrolling that midfield line. Meanwhile, they're going for the double. It does ring off of one side post and the other, and somehow, some way, it still finds the back of the net. It will be Panda to get goal number 1 for Hawthorne.
Panda with a lot of space here, and they're just able to tap in their own rebound. A little bit of disruption along the goal line, too. Got to feel good about the start here for the Bears. Couple of shots, not all of them on target, but sometimes the looming threat is enough to draw those defenders out, put them out of position, and eventually the Bears strike first here as we approach that first minute of action gone by. This is really Allentown's first real offensive opportunity. No touches come through though, as Germ will clear that one to the side, beats one defender, and it will be dumped right back in to the red half. Emmy chasing after it, but he's low on boost. Big Money can't get there, and Germ will tap in to make it 2-0.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm looking at the car selection right now coming from Jack, and I have to ask myself, it's been a while since I've seen that vehicle, but I think that's the Paladin. Not entirely sure, but it's interesting to see some more non-meta vehicles making their way here into this matchup. Meanwhile, it will be Hawthorne to take the kickoff yet again and take even more control of this matchup, being that only 1:20 has gone by, and they are still on the attack.
Lots of dangerous chances there piling up, but no goal coming through. That being said, Germ's on an air dribble here. Uses his flick. Can he get anything afterwards? Panda rushes in, but the rebound is going to be tapped just wide. Now a chance the other way maybe, but Germ kind of forcing an awkward play there, and the boost will get stolen. Now it's 2-on-1 the other way. Funny Monkey looking for Panda in front of the net, but the pass just doesn't quite get to the post, and so it will be cut off at the pass. Emmy now looking to make something happen here. Has to roll that one along their own backboard, but it's dangerous in front, and it's crossbar and down for Panda. Make it 3-0 Hawthorne.
Yep, and now Panda has their second on the evening. Only one away from getting the hat trick, and still plenty of time left to go. 3 minutes and 3 seconds with a 3-goal lead. You have got to love the threes all abound in favor of Hawthorne.
Ooh, fake kickoff here. Panda not going for it. It nearly pays the price for it. Emmy's shot off of that intercept just barely wide. Hits the post and kicks out. Big Money Star gonna have to backtrack. Emmy again putting on a lot of pressure here, but Panda is gonna bail out his defense with this long, low rolling clear, and now he'll steal some boost in the process. Germ to keep it in. Emmy on the back line. Another save. Now a chance maybe, but it's going to be Allentown, who's just going to have possession here. Dump this one in. Chase after it in the blue half. A whiff comes through. Emmy can't find the touch, and Funny Monkey will ditch that one away.
Yep, that they will, and we're seeing a lot of give and go here, and yet another give from DJ is Funny Monkey, and it will in fact go right into the back of the net and give themselves a 4-0 lead over Allentown.
And that back and forth, really interesting to see. You're seeing some odd decision making at times from Hawthorne, but it's all about the communication of this team, as they might have a kickoff goal here, but Emmy shuts that play down. Germ on the follow-up. Is he there? He is, but the shot is too high. It goes off the backboard. And now Allentown will gather up possession once more, but it feels like both teams are really working on, working as a unit. You know, no one wants to push up by themselves. It's 3v3 all times, all day, and not a whole lot of opportunity for these kind of odd man rushes to break through because of it.
And once again, you can see Hawthorne breaking through that midfield line, looking to get the Doomsday Dish, and will in fact find it. Germ able to get themselves on the board and get a 5 total goal lead in favor of Hawthorne High School.
And Germ just seemingly comes out of nowhere there. It's a low rolling clear once more along the wall, but Germ is racing down the field. He found the gap between defenders to pick up that corner boost, go for that Doomsday Dish, and tuck it in to make it 5-0 for the Bears. They might have a 6th here, but that angle is just wide. So now Emmy won't be able to find a clear here, and Panda's looking to punish. High off the backboard once more. Germ, the kick out. Maybe another tap here, but DJ a little late to the play in terms of that follow-up, but they might have the dunk down on the goal line. Another chance for Germ. Saved away once more. Jack the man now looking for something here. Doesn't have the boost, in the corner, I believe, is still available to him, but DJ's going to cut off that clearing attempt once more. And Allentown struggling to break out of their own half.
Yeah, and I was actually getting ready to make the comment that it just seems that Hawthorne are outpacing and really just outboosting the side of Allentown. It seems as though every time that you see an attempt coming from Allentown, they don't really have the boost. Unfortunately, Jack the Man seemed to be a little bit starved themselves for that additional boost several times so far. And meanwhile, Hawthorne doing a really good job of making sure that they have all of the boost in their rotation and really doing a good job of boost starving Allentown.
30 seconds left. Panda off the backboard once more. Has the boost. Oh, but he tipped it away from his teammate. It won't matter. Germ is there on cleanup crew duty. He's got a hat trick this game. And the Bears look like they're going to solidify their win here in game number 1 with a tap-in goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the play was there, but I'm pretty sure it was everyone go. Just everybody go. Send everything, including the kitchen sink. Throw it all to the back of the net, see what sticks, and it was the 6th goal here for Hawthorne that ended up sticking to the back of the net, and now they're going to try for 7. Meanwhile, with the final 10 seconds already beginning to tick away, you can see Allentown still struggling to find their first here in game number 1. And now you can see Funny Monkey trying to take control, but Big Money Star is able to break one away. There it goes, and that will be the final second gone, and it will be Hawthorne to take game number 1 over Allentown.
Hawthorne was solid time of possession control in this opening game, and you look at the shot totals to 13-3. The Bears were swarming this Redbirds defense, and the Redbirds just could never really find an opportunity to break through. Their one offensive stint, they were able to get some high quality chances, but just couldn't capitalize off the back of them.
Yeah, and again, it was just a lot of speed coming from Hawthorne. You know, I tried to make the point, you know, in the middle of the game that it was coming from a lot of the boost starves and a lot of that midfield rotation that allowed them to get 100 boosts time and time again and then really apply that to their offense, being able to strike on the backboard, getting multiple shots on target, and then that's leading to multiple goals. So, going into game number 2, Allentown is going to have to find a way to get more boosts from that midfield and start stealing some boosts from Hawthorne if they're going to try and strike back.
Players, I think, to look at for the rest of the series is Emmy. They seem to be kind of that leader in terms of the playmaking ability. You see they had a couple of good shots on goal, a couple of dangerous plays made, and a couple of great saves along this goal line. Look for them to maybe be that difference maker for the side of Allentown if they are the ones, you know, taking that boost, pushing the advantage, trying to win that battle at the midfield. they're going to be, I think, a difference maker in this series, but it's up to the rest of Allentown to then capitalize off the back of those plays. Can they do that in this series? Let's find out. Game number 2 has been underway.
Yep, that it has, and already you can see Allentown off to a good start, being that they were able to get a demo, but that's not going to hinder the side of Hawthorne from attacking the back of the net, as Funny Monkey is going to find the back of the net first here in game number 1.
A substitution coming in, but seemingly no drop in communication. Just off of a small touch there off the wall, it's Planet Cloudy able to make that pass, and even though it goes off the back of Emmy, the capitalization off the back of it, just to quickly send that ball down in, recognizing you got a teammate there. And now they've got another one. Panda is going to get the credit here. It's an early 2-goal lead for the Bears.
Yep, that it is. And that was not with communication either. You can see the double commit there. I'm not sure if they were going to go for a pinch, try and make their way onto the highlight reel, but regardless, you know, the new player coming in, Cloudy, was able to put one on target and find the back of the net, giving themselves a 2-goal cushion over Allentown.
Gotta feel good about the start for the Bears once more. These early leads have done wonders for them, and they're gonna find a third here. Panda with a bullet off of the ricochet off the wall here. Look at this dump down in, and it's a perfect kick out. Then Jack the Man is just frozen along the goal line. Hard to read those corners and just can't get out there in time.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic 3-way pass play to get the ball into the back of the net, and it's always the pass plays that win the games. And not only that, but the overall aggression coming from Hawthorne High School, being able to score the first 3 goals all within 10 seconds apiece.
Emmy trying to make something happen along this goal line, but Panda beats them to the punch, and it's an early goal here from Panda. That makes 2 here inside this first 44 seconds of game number 2.
Yep, they are definitely on a shooting frenzy here, just constantly applying the pressure, and they will look to do so as we are officially on to playing at least 1 minute of regulation. And now this one going off the backboard of Allentown. That's going to leave an opportunity here, but that one is going to go off and towards the side. As you can see, Allentown now trying to take possession away from Hawthorne, as Funny Monkey will put this towards mid, and a huge demo will cause a stir, but not enough to avoid Panda being able to find the back of the net for the 5th time here for Hawthorne High.
They get the demo along the back line, but the defense can't find a touch in those clears. The wall play. The Bears own this wall right now. They're ramping up, being able to go for those air dribbles and the kickouts. How quickly they read them off of the wall has been a huge difference maker in this series so far, and they're able to find some passing lanes, able to get another bump there. Planet Cloudy gets around one over top of Big Money Star, and it's still along inside the box, and that's going to be another one for Panda. He's got 5 out of 6.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget about Planet Cloudy getting with that assist, and I got to tell you, that is just proof that the tactical whiff is in fact a meta. They went and jumped for the shot, they faked it, #faking, and it led to the defense jumping at it as well. Proving once and for all that the tactical whiff is confirmed tactics, and now Panda is going to do no tactical whiffing. They're just going to put this one on and in once again for Hawthorne.
Hawthorne's got to be feeling good about this start right now. Obviously up 7. It just feels like Allentown's game plan has crumbled at the seams. They got to do something here to gain back some momentum, but it's so difficult when this team, you talked about it, the speed, the boost of the Bears, they just continue to press, and there is no let off on that gas pedal. And now you add in that physical play, the demos and bumps coming through. All 3 members of the Bears just constantly swarming in this red half. Emmy's going to find a good challenge to help kick that ball out, but a demo comes through here, and now the Bears will have to backtrack, but they're able to sidestep 1. No boost in the tank here. Has 2 players along the goal line, but it's Emmy circling back, who's actually going to get the save. Try and move this ball forward once more through the midfield, but no boost in the tank. Forfeits possession once more, and it's rinse repeat right now. Bears short angle side from DJ, just barely off target.
Yeah, and you know what I'm seeing right now is that I'm really looking for more communication coming from both sides, as now you can see the communication is there for Allentown as they are able to get the pass off from the midfield line and into the back of the net. That's going to be the first goal of the series for Allentown.
Got to be a good momentum builder for Allentown to get that one. Does come off of a miscue, though, from the side of Panda, but that's what Allentown needs. That's what these Redbirds need. They need to find these small mistakes and the small miscues from the Hawthorne Bears and just jump on them. And that one, everyone biting on that infield pass, but no one finding a touch, leaves it wide open for Planet Cloudy to put in goal number 8.
Yeah, and again, it's that speed. See how they came from the midfield line and was able to dart directly to the ball and then find the gap between the defense and the net and find themselves yet another goal. Just an absolute stat-making machine Planet Cloudy is bringing to this Hawthorne squad as now they look at an 8-1 lead over Allentown.
Still just under half the game remaining now. And Panda is, with all those goals under his belt, is getting awfully close to that 1,000-point marker. He might have a chance at it, but Emmy doing their best to shut that play down. But maybe a pass here off the wall. Emmy reads it well. DJ kicks it out to Panda. Low rolling shot, but Planet Cloudy on the backtrack there, trying to rotate back, actually ends up blocking his teammate. Emmy might have a chance at this one at midfield, but he expected the touch to come through. Jack the Man finds one off of the wall. Setup is there for Panda, and the tap-in is good. 9-1 Bears.
Yep, and they're just sending the whole team yet again. Look at this. You have all 3 members from the Bears up and trying to find themselves on the scoreboard again. At this point, it just seems like they are in competition with one another to see who can get the most points and who can score the most goals. I'm not sure who's winning, but we're going to find out eventually. Regardless, the offense coming from the side of Hawthorne is just unrelenting as they seem to take no breaks. No days off for Hawthorne, except when Funny Monkey blocks his own teammate's shot.
I think right now there's a little bit of sabotage because Panda's close to that 1,000-point marker, and that's twice now his teammates have denied him a potential chance at a goal. But regardless, the Bears still in solid control here in game number 2. Allentown have not had the opportunity to really get many shots on goal, although they did get their first goal of this series not so long ago. But look at how cleanly Hawthorne is able to transition from defense to offense as well. Just one simple clear, almost always finding the Allentown backline, and sometimes it's about finding those pockets where players are not, or where the players can't get to it or can't occupy that space. And it leads to setups like this as DJ tried to do it all by themselves, but ran a little bit too far east-west, and Panda along the goal line is going to get stuffed out by Big Money Star.
And now back to the midfield we go as this one goes right into the corner of Allentown. That one poked out towards the mid. Now going off the backboard, here comes Funny Monkey, but can't get the touch on the ball. As you can see, Planet Cloudy does send that one over to Panda. They will connect on the pass, and Panda will connect on the goal. Now 10-1 in favor of Hawthorne.
And Panda positioning, and look at him get taken out by everybody. 2 or 3 players diving at that ball in the midfield, but Panda's already parked there, and so he gets the first touch on it, beats everybody to the back door, and double digits for the Bears. Their offense unrelenting, and they're able to continue here in game number 2. Time ticking away. Will they get one more for 0 time? It's along the wall here. The Planet Cloudy's too slow to play in the pinch. Will get over top of the back line, and the Bears will walk away solidly with game number 2.
Yep, that they do, and a fantastic showing, definitely setting the tone and the standards for what to expect from the rest of the season. They have had a fantastic start, currently now going 2-0, undefeated. Let's see if they can keep it up in week 3, and then the Allentown Redbirds able to get themselves on the board for the first time, and off of the pass play, now they just have to try and make it out of their own back half in the future, so that way they can get some wins on the board themselves. But look back again at the shooting gallery that was the Hawthorne offense.
I mean, so many great plays here from the Bears. They're able to find each other off the wall. And even on miscues like this, a double commit, Panda's still finding a great touch to beat the back line. They're so quick, like you said, to make these plays happen. And, you know, if you're a defense like Allentown that's very turtled in, that's dependent on making these goal line saves, a team like Hawthorne can do what you saw in game number 2, because offenses, they thrive off of time and space, and right now, Hawthorne's got all of it this series.
Yep, that they do, but you got to keep in mind, I mean, we definitely saw things play out, and you know what they say, sometimes if you get over speedy, you get a little greedy, and I think it has definitely played out there for Hawthorne, as once they started to get the speed down and they started finding goals on back of the net, you know, they just started snowballing to the point where they just kept laying down the shots, laying down the goals, and then eventually it became out of control. But we are going to stay in control here for EGFH as we get ready to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to continue with our next series. But hold the phone, it looks like these players are still in on. It's a best of 5. Oh, okay, best of 5, not a best of 3. My mistake. My apologies. I thought best of 5 was for the postseason, but it doesn't matter. It will be Hawthorne getting on the board first here in Game 3.
Yeah, Hawthorne came ready to play, and they are not messing around. Off the kickoff, off the ceiling down, second man in. What an angle. What a snipe that really was. The low roller just inside the far post. Defense not ready for it. And once again, Hawthorne really thriving off of these early leads, just controlling the pace and tapping in goal number 2, playing it cloudy. Picking up right where the Bears left off in game number 2. An early 2-goal lead, 13 seconds gone by this time.
Oh yeah, they are picking up right where they left off. Again, just applying all the aggression that they can and going all gas, no brakes. And it seems as though Hawthorne doesn't even care about playing defense. They just want to try and apply having your best offense be your best defense. And they're doing a good job of it so far.
On the blue half now as Jack the Man gets a block on one. Emmy wins the challenge, but no third man back, or I should say one third man back for the side of Allentown. Can't commit to that play. All the way back defensively. Can they get the stop here? It bounces off the post, and Panda is there to clean up the rebound, make it 3-0 for Hawthorne as the Bears just continue to jam away at this net.
Yeah, but now with a 3-0 lead once again, keeping it within nearly at least the 10-second margins of their goals. 40 seconds gone, 3 goals on the board, and still no stop in sight for Hawthorne as they continue to apply the offensive pressure as we see again the pass to Funny Monkey just slightly off the mark.
Approaching that first minute of action gone by here in game number 3, and it's gonna be DJ Funny Monkey putting in another one here with 59 seconds gone by. 4 goals for the Bears, and this offense remarkable. I mean, considering that, you know, we realized they 3-0'd the Lake Wales Commanders, but we were not expecting this coming into this week.
Well, I think Hawthorne maybe had expected this going on this week because they are just oozing confidence right now, the way that they are playing, even making bold moves and going out of their way to take control of the ball and take possession and then take the shot. Panda with the flips and the flicks to put that shot on and in.
That last little touch there throws off the angle for that last defender. Not quite sure who it was, but when you're backtracking on defense like that and you know that that angle, that cutback is going to be very harsh, sometimes that ball being up in the sky and the way your camera kind of rotates can really throw you off in terms of your angle. And Planet Cloudy is going to have one off the backboard here. Mark another one down for Hawthorne Bears. Look at the feed from Panda to find Planet Cloudy, and they get 6-0 for Hawthorne.
Yep, that they do, and now they will continue on with their lead, now 6-0, as they look to get 7, and now Allentown looking to get there first. It's on target, but barely goes down and by the wayside, as Hawthorne not even allowing 1 goal for Allentown. Meanwhile, Emmy over towards the side does have a good read, but it is once again blocked and cleared away. Planet Cloudy now taking possession back over towards the mid. Emmy is there to find them and gets bumped for their trouble. Meanwhile, Funny Monkey goes off of 1 player, tries to go 2, and can't get it to go, but it does find the back of the net, unfortunately, off of one of the cars from Allentown.
Just chaos along the back line here. Jack the Man has really stepped up defensively, but he can't be everywhere at once, and Emmy just trying to track that ball down. Unfortunately for him, the shot kicks off the post, right to the hood of his car as he's moving back towards the net. So a series of unfortunate events there for Allentown. And maybe another one going in here. There's no one back. Panda's going to have this one. His teammate tries to take it from him, and he is able to do so. DJ's Funny Monkey is going to get the credit for this one. But two players here up in the sky, and just the last second touch from DJ is going to extend Hawthorne's lead.
I don't know what you mean about taking credit. That was clearly Funny Monkey's goal from start to finish. The whole way through. The angle, the shot, the placement, that was all Funny Monkey, if you ask me. Meanwhile, we will see the battle at the midfield once again. As you can see, everybody getting involved. A whole lot of red and a whole lot of blue cars. As finally it looks as though Hawthorne is able to put this one into the Allentown half. Now going up high and on the wall, Jack the Man tries to get the touch, but will bump an opponent instead. Panda now at the midfield line, looking at Planet Cloudy. Decides to take it themselves and gets past one defender in the process. Now going up high in the corner. Big touch going back the other way. Funny Monkey now is going to take control and try and take a turn. Going out towards the mid. Has two players there. One will take the shot, and it's just off and to the right.
Awkward spot here for the Redbirds. They'll get a good stuff out, and Emmy right down Main Street will get that clear, but Planet Cloudy just to send it right back in. Gets the double tap here, and Emmy with another solid block. Defensively, it feels like Allentown just barely out of position for a lot of these touches as three whiffs come through there, a couple from both sides, but no one able to touch it, and Hawthorne able to clear that ball away momentarily. Still loose at midfield, though. Jack the Man speeding by. You can see the effort here from Allentown to pick up that pace, to try and catch up to Hawthorne and the way that they play. But sometimes that comfort level of speed can just be a lot to overcome here. And Allentown getting swarmed because of it. And Hawthorne now with solid possession once more. Here in the red half, they'll be able to pick up that corner boost. Air dribble attempt. Goes off the backboard. DJ is there. Slow chip shot. But it gives time for Panda to race in and dunk it home to make it 9-0.
And continuing on with their offensive pressure, being able to find the back of the net for the 9th time here in game number 3. And again, off of some fantastic teamwork. You had one player leading the way, being able to swerve in and out of the defense, and then being able to put it off the backboard and then leaving it for their teammate to send it home. And that has led to an uncounted amount of success coming from Hawthorne, really being able to pass the ball around and share the success. Meanwhile, DJ Funny Monkey has had enough of sharing and is just gonna take this goal themselves.
Well done here by DJ on this air dribble, and they're gonna find the touch at the last second to cut that one back on target and get Hawthorne back to double digits here with 50 seconds remaining. And Hawthorne getting off to such a hot start this season, off a performance like this, they're gonna be going up to 2-0 in the record, and they're still a lot of games to be played. This pool is still very much so wide open, but in terms of their schedule, they've got all of those teams that are coming into this week at 1-0 still remaining to play. So for Hawthorne to step up here, this is a good sign for their squad that they're going to be ready for the challenges that come for the rest of this season as Planet Cloudy taps in another one with 19 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and that was off of the first missed touch coming from DJ Funny Monkey as they barely miss off the crossbar, but they had two teammates there and ready to put that one back in. Now 11-0 in favor of Hawthorne, but only 19 seconds left to go. I think it's safe to say that Hawthorne should be winning out in game number 3 in a 3-0 sweep over Allentown, as now we approach the final 10 seconds. As you can see, Planet Cloudy now going to go up for one more consolation goal, but Panda's going to get in the way. That one goes off of one red car and finds the back of the net, and once again, DJ Funny Monkey is there to take that one for themselves.
This DJ getting to the 1,000-point marker with 2 seconds remaining to tap in that last one. Well done by this Hawthorne squad. The control that they have along the walls ever present, and Allentown running into the buzzsaw today. The Bears with a 3-0 sweep, and in dominant fashion, they get to 2-0 this season.
Yep, that they do. And look at all the pass plays being made coming from Hawthorne. That is a total of 10 passes, 10 assists on the board. Well done. And then not to mention the shot count as well. You're looking at a grand total of 19 shots. Absolutely phenomenal. And then I would just like to put out also a friendly reminder in that most circumstances coming from myself, who is a former competitive Rocket League player at the Rocket League Rival Series level, I would just like to say it is typical etiquette in a competitive setting that you like to coast at around a 4-goal lead. And then afterward, it's usually polite to run the clock and keep yourself within that full goal margin. But I'm going to give you a little bit of time to mull that over and think about it as we get ready to move over into our next game, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more Rocket League action right here on the EGFH. Well, hello and welcome back to Rocket League right here on the EGFH. I am Captain Atsoka along with Soy Sauce, and I hope you have made the most out of your break. I, for instance, used the break to trim my mustache. Soy Sauce, how about you? How was your break?
Mine was good. I was looking up, these next two teams, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. We were just talking about it. Wilson Central going up against Richardson, and Wilson Central, this is a squad that is a veteran team. They were at the LAN last year, and they're looking to try and get back there with a good record this season.
Well, let's see if they can keep that momentum alive, as we do have Wilson Central High School taking on Richardson High, and it should be a very interesting matchup, although we are in a fresh season. So either of these teams, granted that, Wilson Central did make it to LAN, who knows, it's a new season, they could have a little bit more of a challenge this time around, and it could be Richardson to provide that challenge as we get ready to head into game number 1 between these two teams. So who knows, maybe new stories will be made here in this new season.
Yeah, curious to see what Richardson can bring to the table here against a team that, had such a good run the last time they were here at EGFH. They had a fantastic regular season. They entered into the post a #1 overall seed. That's how strong their pool play performance was last year. But this time around, I mean, like you said, whole new season, whole new slew of candidates to come in and see if they can knock off the Wildcats. But this time around, Richardson in the purple, playing defense here early as they'll be able to get the clear for the moment. But Wilson Central in the white, Bruiser. Wow, great pass down. The rebound shot going to be saved away. That's Trader07 making the save.
Yep, and now you can see Espinada going to hit this one over towards the mid, and it will be Polupinaplump taking control here. I'm going to just say Polupina. Polupina?
I think it's pull up in a blimp.
Pull up?
Pull up in a blimp.
Okay, pull up in a blimp. Thank you. So that way you don't have to hear me being hooked on phonics. Meanwhile, Sean is hooked on shots, being able to get the first one to go for the side of the Cougars.
Look at the flick here from Sean. And perfectly timed, too. Trader is back, but, coming out to challenge that is the right play, but it's so difficult to do when you just got back to net. You're still trying to figure out, where's the rest of my team? Where's the ball at? And Sean's got such control. It's so perfectly timed for Sean to get that nice flick over top of the last defender. Inside the first minute of action, the Wildcats have the 1-goal lead.
Yep, that they do. And now back into the corner it goes. As you can see, RHS will now find a goal of their own, and they are tying us back up here at 1 goal apiece.
Bruiser sends this to the corner, and it seems like a safe spot, but pull up in a blimp is already there. He takes the corner boost, he catches the ball perfectly, and he just dribbles it in, and it's a tap-in on the backside. And so just a giveaway there by Wilson Central allows Richardson to tie this game up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, but now back to the corner, you can see the Cougars trying to get something to go offensively, but they're not able to get the touch, and finally the follow-up does come through for Bruiser, but it is saved and cleared away, and now it will be RHS to go on the offensive.
Some early pressure here in the corner, but Sean relieving that pressure with the dribble. Finds Bruiser in transition. No touch along the back line, and the double tap wasn't there. Not quite yet. Julian will drop that one down. Pull up in a blimp, can't find the pass towards the center. This one will roll dangerously close. Pull up in a blip seemingly everywhere at once right now, just being a ball hawk and continuing to track down where this play is going. Playing a good series as, once again, look who's there in the corner. It's pull up in a blimp, looking for the bump on Deshaun, but can't track him down once more. But Wilson Central feels like they might be getting a little bit too far ahead of themselves. It's good pace of play, it's good speed, but they just can't connect on those key touches.
Well, here they go. They try to connect again, and now they will send 2 at the ball. That double commit not going to get them any goals here, but it was the right play. Just need a little bit more communication as they try and take yet another shot. That will be saved and cleared away, and now, once again, it will be the side of the Cougars to keep their offense alive as they go for a follow-up shot, but once again will be denied.
Another big chance, and this is some consistent offensive pressure now for the Wildcats as they're going to have a good shot here, and who else but Sean with the angles to drop that one just inside the crossbar. Look at this dip down, spacing the roll to the backside, and then that angle again. That's the perfect placement for that shot. The defense is still scrambling to get back, and reading that backboard freezes you for that extra half a second. And the speed of that shot comes through in clutch. So Wilson Central now with a 1-goal lead.
And back on the defensive side, you can see the Cougars now trying to clear that one away, as finally they do, as RL Trade does put this one into the corner, now going up high. RL Trader trying to take control now, slowing the pace down just a little bit, as now Julian is going to steal the ball away from RHS, sending this one back and towards the RHS territory. As pull up in a blimp tries to take control, but the ball will be taken away back towards the Cougars, who are able to get the shot and give themselves a 2-goal cushion.
Sean's got a hat trick here, and look at the pass off the backboard. Like you said, Julian is there, but just can't find the touch, but it doesn't matter. It freezes the defense once more along that goal line, and who else but Sean to corral that ball and just snap it into the net to make it 3-1 here with 1:30 on the clock, and he's looking for a 4th. Julian actually was the shooter, and he gets denied by a pull-up at a blimp.
Yeah, and 1:20, still plenty of time for the side of RHS to try and equalize. They're down 2 goals, but in Rocket League time, that's plenty of time to try and get a tie of ball game yet again and possibly send us into OT. Meanwhile, Julian trying to extend their lead to 3. But not being able to get it to go, as that one once again off the backboard will find its way to Sean. And to the midfield line, it will be the side of RHS to get a turn on offense, as that shot will be wide.
Chance also off that wide-angled opportunity, but Bruiser just rolls it down the midfield. Wilson Central, their ability to transition from defense to offense also noteworthy because of how they go about it. They seemingly find each other in transition very frequently. Now they're looking to attack that backboard, but unable to do so in that sequence. Now a dangerous ball in front, but PK Bruiser, what an angle that was. Looked like it was going to be an own goal at first, but the kick out up high off their own backboard to clear that one away. Maybe a chance here off the corner. Pull up at a blip is too far forward. RL Trader gets denied by the 50. PK Bruiser looking for a goal in transition. He is denied. Sean now up high. Short time remaining. The clock is working in the Wildcats' favor. They can't move this ball out of the purple half. And Bruiser for Julian off the crossbar. They nearly had a 0-second goal, but it will not matter. The Wildcats walk away with game 1.
Yeah, that they do. And now you could see the stats that will tell the tale. And 13 shots coming from the Wildcats. Absolutely insane. Meanwhile, the side of Richardson were held to 3. But look at the save count there. Oh my goodness. You're looking at 7 saves coming from the side of Richardson. And it's just telling me that they spent too much time in their own half. And it was a great amount of offense coming from the side of the Wildcats that really led to a stranglehold on Richardson. They really couldn't get out of their own half and had to spend so much time playing defense, they simply could not keep up on offense.
Yeah, their offense never really got a chance to go to work, and it was very frequently kept to the outside, bogged down in the corner. Pull Up in a Blip has a great catch there on the intercept to give them their only goal of game number 1. But outside of that, the offense was very stagnant, couldn't find ways to generate chances because the defense was constantly back. They had to be back in order to stop those Wilson Central counterattacks, because Wilson Central, they've got the formula right now in order to break out of their own half. Now it's up to Richardson to adapt. They've got a solid rotation. You saw that from the scoreline. Every player involved defensively, every player making saves. But it means that that second man has to find a way to clear this ball. In fact, we saw that from the last series. Hawthorne, they were able to find the pockets defensively to just get that ball into open space and give their team time to go to work, to find the boost. That's the goal here for Richardson High School.
Well, let's see if they can achieve the goal set for them by our wonderful soy sauce caster. Here in game number 2 is already, it will be DBK Bruiser to find the first goal here in game number 2. Early lead now for the Wildcats.
What a pass, and look at how close this was. The defender is draped over him, backtracking to the net, and still, it just barely sneaks behind him, and DPK Bruiser has the perfect shot to beat the defender that's right in front of him. And all of a sudden, Wilson Central, they're up 1-0, maybe 2 here. Can they make the goal line save? No, it creeps through, and Julian's going to get on the board here to extend the lead to 2.
Julian is now my favorite player, no biases at all, but it's only because we have the same goal explosion. I'm a huge fan of that goal explosion. I love Haunted Hollows. If it were up to me, we'd have Haunted Hollows all year round. Meanwhile, only 30 seconds in, and you got 2 goals for the side of the Wildcats. As you can see, Richardson trying to keep up here. Still plenty of time to go. 4 minutes and 20 on the clock. Richardson now taking control. This one now will go the way of the Wildcats after a huge demo on Pull Up in a Blimp.
Oh, but the 50 there from Esponda is they're going to be able to clear this one out. Sean now moving forward with the ball. Good kick out. Has DPK Bruiser, but just barely can't connect on the pass with him. Arl Trader, it's a good clear, but Sean to dump it right back down in. And it just seems like everywhere Richardson sends the ball, there's a Wildcat waiting for it. This defensive positioning from Wilson Central, very strong, very hard to break through. Trader ends up back passing it here, but it leaves the ball for Pull Up in a Blimp. Sends it centering ball. Sean and DPK let it roll through, and Trader would have had a shot, but I think he thought surely 2 defenders there find a touch, but instead it's going to be cleared the other way. And look at this passing play through the middle. Chance on target, crossbar and down, and Julian gets the tap in to make it 3-0.
Yeah, Julian definitely would like to play a game, and that game is Rocket League, being able to find the back of the net for the second time. And a nice use of Billy there on the goal explosion, and they will take a 3-0 lead now over RHS. But still, once again, plenty of time to make the comeback. Over 3 minutes to go. That's a goal a minute. That is definitely doable for RHS.
Very much so, but they've got to get this offense going. Feels like it's been about 2 minutes since their last offensive chance, but look at this, the opening's there, and Esponda gets one on the board, and this scoreline looks very similar.
There we go. Look at Espinada getting involved there. Literally just beelining it right up the gut, going straight for the ball there in the midfield and turning that into a goal, capitalizing on a little bit of a defensive error coming from the Wildcats. They were not watching their net. They were playing too much offense and no defense, and that leaves an opening for RHS. Let's see if they can duplicate that success now as we have reached the 3-minute mark, and RHS are only down by 2.
They've got the ball in the right half here, but Sean, look at that kick out off the wall. Pull Up in a Blip has to respond to this, but no boost in the tank. Should mean Julian's got an air dribble here. Does he just speed this ball forward? Got the 52. Sean, awkward angle here. Sends it to the corner. DPK fighting early. Means a clear comes through. And this one's going to be an own goal. Espana's going to get a second one off of the hood of, I believe this was DPK.
Nah, that's not an own goal. That's just 100% calculated right there. Espana, the big brain plays that win the games, definitely was intended to rail off of not one but two different Wildcat cars. So again, 100% calculated from RHS, as now they're back within one.
With half the game remaining, Richardson's got to feel good about the momentum that they've got. A little bit of blip. That's a good shot, or a good pass, but well wide and no follow-up. Everyone on his team retreating, looking for boost. But Sean now trying to slow this momentum down, trying to find a teammate here, but Richardson's defense has gotten wise to these backboard and centering passes. Sean making another key touch here. Low boost, gets demoed here by Trader, and no challenge coming through. It'll be bailed out momentarily. That's a harsh kick out, but pull up and a blimp is there. The half flip doesn't get him there. Sean keeping this pressure on, and now it's a very, very even game. Both of these defenses really getting tested along the goal line, but it's Julian who's going to find the angle and break through to make it 4-2.
Oh yeah, Julian definitely popping off this game and showing the opposition that you should cherish every second of your Rocket League lives, as it very well could dwindle here, at least in game number 2. Now, you will see the Wildcats have that 2-goal cushion back in their favor, in time necessarily not on the side of RHS.
That one dangerously close. DPK Bruiser can't find a way to put that one on target. Another awkward pinch here. Pull up in a blimp, might have a chance. Sends it off the backboard, but Julian, look at the hustle to make sure that there was no chance at a follow-up off of that backboard ball. Maybe a chance here. Espana looking for pull up in a blimp, but he can't find the angle. DPK for Julian. Dangerous pass out, but they quickly react and are able to get the dunk. And is that on target? It's off the post, off the 2. DPK off the crossbar. All 3 pieces of iron getting hit, but they can't find the one that could have been the dagger.
Oh yeah, we're seeing the Wildcats suffer from a little bit of crossbar syndrome. Meanwhile, Julian able to deliver a little bit of punishment there. As you can see, RL Trader not being able to get the touch. A little bit of a whoopsie-daisy, but it's going to be yet another goal and a hat trick now for Julian.
Huge hat trick. And that is the difference right now. 5-2. 3-goal lead here for Wilson Central. DPK kicking that one out up high, and Sean just going to send a soft one on. Espana able to block that one out, but again, that midfield trap almost for Wilson Central. Just everywhere Richardson sends this ball past midfield, there is a Wildcat up in the skies ready to deny that clear. DPK now from the wall, and the clock is just ticking away here. Wilson Central, barring a miracle goal here from Richardson, we're going to walk away with game 2, and they're going to be on match point.
Yes, that they are looking down the barrel of a 3-0 sweep. RHS are going to have to try and come out with a play style that can possibly counter the Wildcats, because right now they are on an absolute tear, and they are currently tearing up the shot count. Look at that, another 14 shots on the board for the Wildcats, and 5 of those shots came off of 3 pass plays. Still a considerate amount of assists being made and good passing coming from the side of the Wildcats.
This passing is always a threat from the side of Wilson Central, and we saw that at the LAN that they were able to attend way back in June or July of last year. But you can see from a lot of these replays that a couple of these goals, it feels like Richardson, the defense is just a little panicky. They're in the right spot, they're in the right position, but they can't quite get that clean touch to make the save. And even here, the double commit off of that last chance sets it up off the crossbar, and Julian's just able to tap it in. This defense is in the right spots. Positionally, Richardson has a good read of where to be. It's about getting those clean touches. They weren't really able to find them in the later portion of that game.
Yeah, and then again, you also had just like one or two tiny mistakes. Like you said, there was a double commit here, maybe an off-target shot, unfortunately, there. But at the end of the day, it was the shot count that really made the difference. It was really just the side of the Wildcats having possession for the majority of that match. RHS, you know, all small, tiny mistakes aside, just have to keep the ball away from the side of the Wildcats. They need to start taking more possession. So let's see if they can get that done here in game number 3. Series point now for the Wildcats.
So difficult to gather up possession against a team like the Wildcats, but it's what Richardson has to do, like you said. And part of the reason it's so difficult is because of these passing plays, right? They're just continuing to find each other, and the second you think, okay, I'm going to get a challenge here, and then we'll just read this 50, you see that Wilson Central, they've already got a player waiting and ready, knowing where that 50 is going to be. Do such a good job of creating space because of those passing lanes. Here early, Richardson doing a good job of breaking out of their own half for now, but can they generate that high-quality offensive chance that they've been able to score off of in the past 2 games? Pull up a blimp, able to win that 50. DPK will just leave this for his teammate Sean at the midfield.
And now you can see Espinada is going to leave that one as well. Julian now trying to take a shot. It goes off target, but now going up high and off the backboard. It will be read by RHS, only to be found by Sean yet again in a nice 50-50 pinch. We'll send this one on the opposite side of the pitch, but DBK Bruiser is there to find Sean yet again, and we're seeing a whole lot of passing, and finally the shot comes through as well, but it will be denied.
Big save there. Maybe a chance. Sean was there, but couldn't make contact, and Trader now moves the other way. It's going to kick out off the corner here. Sean now. Maybe a chance off of this wall. Centering ball down in. Open a blip with a good read. Oh, but the fake from DPK Bruiser was nasty. Luckily, Espinada was there to backtrack and make that save. He's got to make another one. He's able to do so, but Sean's angle isn't enough. It's off the crossbar. The rebound pull up in a blimp. Diving back. Another chance. Julian can't make contact. And Wilson Central come oh so close, but the defense of Richardson stands tall.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how they were able to recover so many saves and still be able to get the ball out of their half. Meanwhile, the counterattack from the side of Wilson Central is underway, and now Espinada trying to clear this one out of their own corner, as this one now will go off the ceiling. Beautifully read now by RL Trader, who tries to develop a counterattack, but that midfield presence coming from the side of the Wildcats is just too strong at the moment.
They've won so many just kind of free possessions off of those midfield plays. Richardson just can't find a way to cleanly clear this ball. DPK now off the corner. Julian finds a touch. Sean is there, looking back for him. What a pass to Julian inside the box. It's a give and go from inside, and Wilson Central find another opener in the series.
Yep, that they do. Julian gets their first goal here of game number 3. And if they go on a tear like they did in game number 2, then it very well might be game over.
Oh, what a double tap there from Espinada. Sean's going to make a difficult save. Trader is there, but it sneaks underneath him. Espinada gets back in time, though. No boost in the tank. Doesn't win the challenge for the corner either. And Sean, send it right back down in. Richardson, they need something. They need to give their offense a chance here. They got to find a way to break out of their own back third. Feels like they've all been along this goal line for so long. But holding on is the name of the game for them. It's Julian able to win that challenge and should be able to get back to this one. Finds a touch. Is that on target? It's dangerously close. Trader putting it towards his own net, but it actually kicks it to safety.
Yep, that they do. And again, we're seeing RHS really struggle to keep these shots out of their net, as now DBK Bruiser is going to get a goal of their own with a soft floater going all the way down into the lower 90 of the net.
Did you see the fake there, too? I mean, he looked like he was going to go for the air dribble and just tuck it in himself. And then it looked like he was going to go for the demo at the last second. And either way, the defense just not ready for it in that moment. And he's going to have another one here. Look at this short side angle. DPK having himself a game. Espinada's touch here seems like it's out to safety, but everyone for RHS is not ready for a backwards touch. And DPK from goal line extends Wilson Central's lead.
Now you see, that is the reason that DPK, they wear a cowboy hat, because they are definitely a sharpshooter. Again, being able to find the back of the net for the second time, giving their squad the 3-0 lead, going back to get the save, and now off the sidebar, it will be pull up in a blimp, who was able to pull up in an octane to get the 1 goal for the first time here in Game 3 in the favor of RHS.
RHS has done such a good job of catching these miscues defensively. DPK Bruiser gets back, finds a touch, but still, it's Trader to send it right back down in and pull up in a blimp, finds the gap, and gets 1 on the board. But you need 2 more to extend this series, and you still got to play defense. DPK finds a touch, actually forced that ball away from pull up in a blimp, and a demo comes through as well. Everyone's here in this half, but pull up in a blimp sends one off of his own wall to clear that ball away. Short time remaining here, but RHS, they've ramped up the pace. They know they're running out of time.
And it's actually a good pace to have, but only if they manage to keep this pace, from the get-go. I'm glad to see it within the last 30 seconds, but now it seems as though they're actually keeping up with the side of the Wildcats, who are going to go for another midfield pass. They do connect, but unfortunately they can't connect with the goal. 15 seconds left to go.
Pull up in a blimp, can't win the challenge. Sean is there. Spinana makes the save, but the clock is working against Richardson High School. Pull up in a blimp. He might have one here. It is going to go in. There's 2 seconds remaining here. Do you believe in miracles, Richardson? You better. You got 2 seconds to make something happen.
It is definitely possible, but I like to say this is not Hogwarts Legacy. This is, in fact, Rocket League. I don't know if we're going to see any magic within these last 2 seconds, but here we go. Here comes the attempt, and look at the fakes. No one goes, and now finally there goes the last shot, and it will hit the dirt to make it hurt, as the Wildcats will walk away with a 3-0 sweep.
A 3-0 sweep, but boy, oh boy, there were some moments where Richardson, you felt like they could have come up with something. And in that final moment, I don't think I've ever seen a mind game that strong in a kickoff in a 0-second play there, right? Both teams pulling up short. Clock doesn't run for about, 3-5 seconds of no one touching the ball there. So a funny sequence to kind of end out the series. But sometimes it requires plays like that to make something happen. Richardson almost got a shot off. But I think that you got to give a hand to DPK Bruiser for the series that they had. They had so many key touches. That fake that they had to set up that next goal. They had so many clutch offensive plays. And even the passes that they were able to find were fantastic.
Yep, that they were, and you got to give it to Julian, too, who was able to find the back of the net a few times throughout the series. Meanwhile, DBK Bruiser, being that sharp shooter, also doing a lot of work on the offensive side. And Sean getting the assist, really being the point guard, being able to find their teammates time and time again at the midfield and getting a lot of those passes done. And we just seen the transition in the reaction time from the side of the Wildcats that was just simply too fast. It seems as though that RHS, unfortunately, were just slightly outpaced by the Wildcats, at least there in the last game especially.
Yeah, but you got to give credit to Richardson for the adaptations that they were able to pull in this series. They did, at the end of the day, keep it very close, and they were able to jump on a lot of the mistakes that Wilson Central was making. The problem is, like you said, it felt like they made that adjustment way too late in the game. They've got to be able to flip that switch faster. And if they learn that for next week, watch out. This is a dangerous team.
Yep. Going to be watching out for them next week, but also watch out for what we bring next, because don't worry, we're going to be taking a quick short break, but when we come back, we should have an interview lined up for you and ready to go. So do not go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Well, hello and welcome back to EGFH. Once again, I am Captain Etsoka, joined by Soy Sauce, and we also have a special guest with us in the booth. It is none other than DPK Bruiser from the winning squad of the Wildcats. And, you know, first question off the rip, DPK, I got to ask you, the topper, the cowboy hat, is it true it gives you plus 50 shot accuracy?
Man, it's plus 50 shot accuracy, plus 50 agility, plus 50 accuracy on everything. It gives me all the confidence in the world, and that's all that matters.
And the team certainly looked confident this week. I mean, a great 3-0 sweep. How do you feel about the start of your season so far?
I mean, for all of us, we're still getting back into actually playing Rocket League, so maybe for us it's a little shaky, but overall, compared to where we were last season at the exact same time, this is a much bigger improvement. So we're pretty happy to be here.
We mentioned a couple times that this is a squad that was able to attend the LAN last year, and this year it feels like this team, it's got a lot of similarities, obviously a lot of returning players, but it feels like this offense has kind of found another gear with these passing lanes. Is that something you worked on in the offseason?
Absolutely. I was coached by a professional, and he coached me on how to make these plays, and I've coached them on how to make these plays. All it is just passing the ball middle. There's nothing crazy about it. Just pass the ball middle, and you'll win majority of the time because people just like to shoot. And I mean, you see it in our gameplay. All we do is pass middle.
Yep, and I got to tell you, it looked as though as if it worked. But for my final question, I got to ask it, DPK, is there anybody that you would like to shout out? You know, anybody you want to give a quick credit to? At least for right now, sir, the floor is yours.
All right, I got to shout out Juke first. He's the guy, I don't know what he's doing here. He's the broadcast guy. He's always amazing. Got to shout out my mom. She's watching right now. Got to shout out my teammates, of course. They're always amazing. My teacher, Miss Rich, she's always amazing putting up with me. I got to shout out my fans, the cowboy hat. Man, I got to... Juke just messaged me. I got to shout out my cat. I don't know. Got to shout out about everybody, but if I didn't shout anybody out, I'm sorry. But other than that, I think that's all I got.
Well, that was a good one for me. That was good enough for me. But just to cover your bases here, I'm going to give a quick shout out to both Soy Sauce and myself just for being able to come through and broadcast today. No, in all seriousness, though, it was a pleasure to have you on, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. But that is going to wrap things up here for the EGFH Soy Sauce. You got any last remarks before we hit the bricks?
Oh, I can't wait for this year. I mean, this season is going to be so fun to watch. So many teams kind of looking to make their signature this season, and we're only 2 weeks into a well-rounded squad. I mean, this is going to be such a fun season to watch as it goes on.
Yep, that it will. So be sure to stay tuned for that and more right here at the EGFH. We will see you next time.